of protecting people from COVID?
One can see here, more COVID vaccinations and medical support are needed in India is what the conclusion is. As one can see, the graphs where India consistently rising, especially over the past couple of months, where the rate of increase is just uncontrolled. And yet, what happens after the vaccination is yet another concerning story.
So, where is the world heading and where are we safe in today's world? Before we go to this segment, let's have a short break.
There are some great spiritual sciences unique to Hinduism. Subtle, otherworldly, but definitive sign. Manifesting the cosmic beings in Archavatara, deities in Nijavatara, living incarnations is possible. Understand? Priya Pada of Vedas and Agamas elaborately explain the whole science of making the cosmic beings manifest in Archavatara, deities and Nijavatara, living incarnations. Both. During the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, literally those cosmic beings manifest through this body. Just like how they manifest in Archavatara, deity, they manifest in Nijavatara, Pratyakshavatara, and give you all the boons you ask, bless you. You see, each God is an independent intelligence to lead you to enlightenment. Each God is a bridge for you to achieve the Shivatva, the ultimate Shiva consciousness. Krishna is the bridge for you to achieve the Krishna consciousness. But the Shiva consciousness, Krishna consciousness, all consciousness is one and the same. Ultimate consciousness only. So that energy itself completely expresses.
Just like Radhika, when I see my own sweetness in the mirror, I become eager to taste it. I find that the only way to relish this sweetness is through the constitution of Sri Radhika.
Bhava Samadhi Darshan is a window to the infinite expanse of consciousness, allowing us to glimpse the formless in a way that we can understand. It cleanses the karmas of lifetimes. It awakens our biomemory to the space of Paramashiva, the ultimate consciousness, and creates a deep and lasting transformation in us.
Yes, where is the world heading and where are we really safe in today's world? And just a snapshot on what is happening in terms of the new pandemic outbreak in India, where black fungus is declared as an epidemic in Rajasthan. Rajasthan declares black fungus as an epidemic in the state and cases rise in Delhi too. So this is predominantly observed in people who are either vaccinated or who have recovered from the COVID infection. So their immunity levels drop down to such a level that they are prone to getting the secondary infections, especially the lethal black fungus infection. And in Uttar Pradesh, we can see the cases of yellow fungus. So every week or every 10 days, new infections, new secondary infections outbreak is happening predominantly in India. So when the first world countries close their borders during a massive global emergency that the world is seeing today, what is the stance of Kailasa? What did Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Swamiji, has done to the world? He has literally opened his doors. He has opened all his Kailasas as the COVID care protection centers. Please understand, this is something phenomenal from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, especially when all the powerful countries of the world today is closing down their borders in this global emergency. It is Swamiji, it is Kailasa who has opened the doors without any reservation, without any attachments, without any conditions. He has simply unconditionally opened his doors of Kailasa to every single person, whoever wants to get protected from COVID. Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Swamiji, reveals that at least 6 months back, I became aware that multi-layer quarantine is required to protect people. If you are in India and if you want to protect your immediate family or an extended family, anyone who will listen to you, get them immediately to our campuses. He has simply unconditionally opened all his enlightenment ecosystems that he had built over 26 years. And not only that, these enlightenment ecosystems were attacked profusely. It was attacked brutally by these anti-Hindu militants. And despite that, he has opened these enlightenment ecosystems for the benefit of people, especially at this stage when all of us are very clear that the governments have failed, the society has failed in protecting the interest of the people. They are not able to handle the situation. There is not a single hospital that can give you a bed today. People who come to the hospital are directly taken to the mortuary. So that is the situation that is happening right now in India. At this stage, it is Swamiji who has opened his doors, who has opened all his enlightenment ecosystems to accommodate every single person who wants to protect themselves from corona. And the other issue here is, in India, it is impossible to practice the home quarantine because all the places, living spaces are very, very small. That indirectly makes you to have mental breakdown. So that is why many people don't bother about whether they're going to get affected by the corona infection or they're going to die. They just say, yes, I'm not able to handle this home quarantine. They are experiencing immense anxiety issues and mental breakdown. That is on the other one hand. On the other hand, it is simply not possible for them to continue being in the home quarantine because they have to look after their livelihood. They don't know what to do in terms of protecting their family, in running the living expenses of the family. So there are multiple reasons why this home quarantine is simply not possible. It is not possible to educate the people the importance of the home quarantine on one hand, and on the other hand, the government and the society is failing in providing the necessary medical aid to the people. So that's Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma, who said that home quarantine is one of the primary reasons for a large number of deaths during the second wave of COVID in Assam. The Maharashtra government on Tuesday has announced the decision to stop the home quarantine in 18 districts, which shows higher COVID positivity rate than the state's average. The state's public health minister Rajesh Tope said that the decision is to ensure better healthcare facilities to the patients in districts which are showing higher positivity rate. That is mainly because about 41% of the houses have just a single room. That is what Swamiji was revealing in the satsangs recently, that it is very, very congested space. It is very confined space, and people are simply not able to handle these confined smaller places where they are not able to handle themselves. Therefore, in order to utilize India's healthcare infrastructure optimally to manage the expanding fallout of coronavirus, the central government on 27th of April, about a month before, signaled a change in approach. From mandating that every person who tests positive for the virus be moved to isolation beds in the dedicated hospitals or units, the government allowed home quarantine for those with milder symptoms. The self-isolation for COVID-19 is simply impossible for 40% of the Indian families. So despite knowing that the approach is not going to be practically successful, the government and the society is pushing the people to follow that practices, which we know that it's going to fail anyway. Now, where is this space for home quarantine in cities? A number of media handles has been highlighting these issues continuously, consistently. Now, at this stage, when the society and the government is not able to handle the situation, it is Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who has opened all
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda.
There are some great spiritual sciences unique to Hinduism. Subtle, otherworldly, but definitive sign. Manifesting the cosmic beings in Archavatara, deities in Nijavatara, living incarnations is fasting. Understand? Kriya Pada of Vedas and Agamas elaborately explain the whole science of making the cosmic beings manifest in Archavatara, deities and Nijavatara, living incarnations, both. During the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, literally those cosmic beings manifest through this body. Just like how they manifest in Archavatara, deity, they manifest in Nijavatara, Pratyakshavatara, and give you all the boons you ask, bless you. You see, each God is an independent intelligence to lead you to enlightenment. Each God is a bridge for you to achieve the Shivatva, the ultimate Shiva consciousness. Krishna is the bridge for you to achieve the Krishna consciousness. But Shiva consciousness, Krishna consciousness, all consciousness is one and the same. Ultimate consciousness only. So that energy itself completely expresses.
Just like Radhika, When I see my own sweetness in the mirror, I become eager to taste it. I find that the only way to relish this sweetness is through the constitution of Sri Radhika.
Bhava Samadhi Darshan is a window to the infinite expanse of consciousness, allowing us to glimpse the formless in a way that we can understand. It cleanses the karmas of lifetimes. It awakens our biomemory to the space of Paramashiva, the ultimate consciousness, and creates a deep and lasting transformation in us.
There are some great spiritual sciences unique to Hinduism. Subtle, otherworldly, but definitive sign. Manifesting the cosmic beings in Archavatara, deities in Nijavatara, living incarnations is possible. Understand? Kriya Pada of Vedas and Agamas elaborately explain the whole science of making the cosmic beings manifest in Archavatara, deities and Nijavatara, living incarnations, both. During the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, literally those cosmic beings manifest through this body. Just like how they manifest in Archavatara, deity, they manifest in Nijavatara, Pratyakshavatara.
Coming back, one can see, compared to the rest of the world and the Indian government authorities itself, not able to handle the deadly assault of the corona, home quarantine options not working, and the nation really looking helpless at what can be done to save India. At this time, Kailasa rushes to the help of India as India finds itself on the verge of the COVID-19 third wave. Multiple free COVID care centers have been opened up across India. Various social services have been offered, continuing to be offered during this pandemic in the various adinams across India. One can see over a dozen adinams or enlightenment spiritual ecosystems opened up. The spiritual services offered during the pandemic in ashrams and adinams across India, cosmic revelations on the global pandemic have been shared with the world. The multitude of social services offered during the pandemic in the adinams across India, including free medical care in the form of allopathy, Ayurvedic and Siddha medicine, fire safety equipment maintenance, infrastructure being made available to accommodate the thousands who are going to rush into the Adi Kailasa ship, accommodation being made taking into account the multi-layered quarantine which is essential as revealed, where home quarantine or single layer quarantine does not work anymore. Emergency services like emergency ambulances and literally ICU on wheels being made ready with all the support needed for literally being an ICU on wheels, including oxygen, pure oxygen, ventilator support, and all the state-of-the-art equipment being equipped in the ambulances. Personal protective medical equipment in terms of hand sanitizing, face masks, steam inhalation, and the groceries collected so that Annadan can be served, food can be made available to one and all and served to the people at large. And that's supported by organic farming so that nutritious, healthy, sattvic food can be provided to one and all, including in this epidemic. The social.
So while we go to the next segment, we have Ma Mahavidya, who is one of the Kailasians, Kailasvasi, who is actually preparing the Adi Kailash, who's involved in the major infrastructure team, who's preparing the Adi Kailash to support to support the COVID care protection center. So I'm going to invite her to the show today. Okay, so before we get Ma Mahavidya to the show, let's have a short promo.
There are some great spiritual sciences unique to Hinduism. Subtle, otherworldly, but definitive sign. Manifesting the cosmic beings in Archavatara, deities in Nijavatara, living incarnations is possible. Understand? Kriya Pada of Vedas and Agamas elaborately explain the whole science of making the cosmic beings manifest in Archavatara, deities and Nijavatara, living incarnations, both. During the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, literally those cosmic beings manifest through his body. Just like how they manifest in Archavatara, deity, they manifest in Nijavatara, Pratyakshavatara, and give you all the boons you ask, bless you. You see, each God is an independent intelligence to lead you to enlightenment. Each God is a bridge for you to achieve the Shivatva, the ultimate Shiva consciousness. Krishna is the bridge for you to achieve the Krishna consciousness. But Shiva consciousness, Krishna consciousness, all consciousness is one and the same. Ultimate consciousness only.
Yes. So we have Ma Mahavidya, who's one of the Kailavasis in Adi Kailasa Sarangapita. I welcome Ma Mahavidya to the show today. Nithyananda Ma.
Nithyananda Ma. Nithyananda.
Yes. So would you like to share the glimpse of what is happening in Adi Kailasa? How does the energy feel like? Especially we have hundreds of people already come to the campus. So how are the people responding, and what is the update that you have from the infrastructure team to share with the world today?
Nithyanandam, everybody. Thank you, Ma. Really, such a great opportunity. So lots to share, but we'll give you quick updates from Adi Kailash. So everybody listening and watching to us can really see the readiness that's happening on this side of the world and this side of Kailasa really. This is news from Kailasa. So what has been happening in the last few days since, the Devi Parashakti readings, we've had a lot of influx of people. So let's start there. We've had people walk in morning 2 a.m., coming in at 2 p.m. With kids, with just themselves, women, youth, families, youngsters. But, people who are really coming as families, people who are also coming by themselves. And sometimes they're prepared, sometimes they just walk in and they just say, I'm here, this is my only home. We actually had someone walk in yesterday, and he was blessed by Devi Parashakti, and he came in and he was just has one thing on his mouth. This is my only home, this is my only home. And the smiles on people's faces, the joy, the gratitude that we are seeing on them is really is so fulfilling. Because we had one family just 3 days back. She's come with her kids, and her kid is really young. He was a new place. You can imagine new kid, how he was feeling. The kid was really, but you won't believe the energy here. First, when the kid started to walk in, he was a little panicky, doesn't know what to do. He's running here, running there, looking for his mom. But just a few minutes later, he met one of our readiness teams who meets everybody at the welcome stage when they are entering the first level quarantine. She met one of our sannyasis, there, and are just there. The kid has just settled down, started to play in our food carts, started to play in all the vehicles we have up and down. And you won't believe, within a few hours, the same mother, she was a little panicky. How will I be able to bring all my luggage pieces, 6 pieces, this and that? Just but within the few hours, she's connecting to us and asking us, Ma, how would you like me to have all of these certain disposals done? What processes would you like us to follow? I will set up a process in place. We are 6 of us. We'll just form a team, and we'll do it. We'll take turns, and make sure it gets to you the way you want it, the way it is safe for you, for us. We didn't ask her. We never asked her to, even consider like how she wants to deposit the trash, or how she wants to handle her baby, how she wants to live in the community. What We never even had the opportunity to train her what the first level quarantine processes are. But the gratitude and the joy of people's faces of what they are receiving is just immediately they are standing up and they are coming to us and connecting to us and saying, Ma, what can we do? Can you? And they are really, they say, Ma, so far I had these bags, and I made sure we have separate compost, we have separate sanitized napkins, and they're taking the responsibility of moving forward, and they're taking the joy, and they're really enjoying what Kailasa is providing is extremely, I don't know the words, is really fulfillment also is a very small word to say. When you see that you are part of something so huge, that it is giving life.
Mahan, what you brought up is a very important point, because say in the society today, because there is so much of insecurity amongst people, we don't take responsibility for the other person, because we ourselves is not sure what is going to happen to us. So we are so focused, and we are so onto ourselves, so we fail to take responsibility for how does my quarantine practices affect other person's health. Most of us do not even have the time or the space to think about it. That is why the home quarantine practices is failing in India, because people are not feeling secured. But here in Kailasa, because Swamiji has provided complete security, they can do whatever they want to do, because internet is available. They can continue their work from home options. They can practice anything that they want. He is spiritually empowering them. So, and the whole energy field that he has built for last with the Nithyananda Lingam that has been built for last 12 plus years. So everything is coming together. People are feeling so much of gratitude, so much of security. Immediately the innate responsibilism is awakened in people. People say, yes, I want to do that. I want to take up some responsibility. I want to do this. I want to do that. It's really overwhelming to see such kind responses from participants who have come here for COVID Care Protection Center. It's a very important point what you brought out, Ma. Please go ahead.
Yes, Ma. And so when I'm seeing, and I'm not alone, I'm part of a readiness team here for the preventive and protective quarantine facilities we are setting up in Adi Kailash. There's 14 of us, and when the 14 of us are interacting with this group, right? Interacting means, now I will clarify, expand on that what I mean. But just to finish my thought current here, really the way they are approaching and they are feeling secured is making us feel that in this whole Leela, really, in this whole ship that Devi has created, there is one little tiny part that I am able to contribute to. That fulfillment, the joy that each of us is feeling is immensely empowering us for whatever is next. And that let me now expand on interaction, readiness, and maybe even sharing information to all of us who are watching here. So we've got many layers of quarantine. The first layer of quarantine, where we have, there's only one specific individual that interacts to whoever is coming, and we have special practices, social distancing, we have our masks, we have our sanitizers, we have proper dispensers, we have proper processes for garbage